So up until now, we have learned a lot about APIs, but APIs have some limitations and they have issues as well. And usually you stumble upon these issues as you go along. And you start using APIs in a way that they're not meant to be used. And that actually leads to an anti-pattern called API polling. This still can be used in some cases, but in most cases, it's a bad idea. And that's why many technologies like message queues and streams, they exist. Now we'll learn about them later, but first let's learn about what API polling is and the challenges it creates. So by now you know that the API is just a URL, which the server ensures that all the information is available via the URL. And the client simply calls the URL. The client does not care about how the functionality is implemented at the server side, and the server doesn't have to care about who's calling the API. The API is the decoupling layer between the client and the server. And that's great when you have some information that needs to be sent from the server to the client. But what if it's status-related information or information that's ever changing? For example, the client wants to check the status of something at the server side. For example, payment status or delivery status or invoicing status, right? All of these statuses, they keep changing and they need to be checked again and again by the client to display the right information for the user at the client side. So a common wrong way to do it would be like this. The client asks for any changes at the server side. Server says, no, there are no changes. Client says again, are there any changes? The server says, no, no changes. Only when the data has changed. And the client says, are there any changes? The server says, yes, some information has changed. And the client can then request for the data and get back the data. Now this still sounds okay, but this thing, which is we don't know for how long the client will need to keep checking with the server to get the information. This is the problem. And this creates a lot of stress for the server. And imagine not just one client, but millions of clients asking again and again, are there any changes within a few seconds or even within a few minutes? That's a big challenge. So that is consuming bandwidth, that's stressing out the server, and that is taking away the time and the processing power of the server, which it could use for other things. And this is called API polling. To remove this, we use technologies, like I mentioned, like message queues and message streams, which we'll learn about later on. But right now, I wanted to show you the problem itself, which is API polling. I want to take a quick minute to tell you something very important. I'm sure you know that CTOs don't write a lot of code. So what do they actually do during the day? They actually work on system design and architecting systems. And not just CTOs, but anyone in a leadership positions like VP of engineering, director, they're all involved with planning and architecting systems. Now, directors and VPs are also delivery side where they have to manage people, but there are also technical VPs and directors. If you're someone who has experience in the industry and you see yourself moving up on the technical ladder, becoming someone who's responsible for orchestrating and architecting systems and not necessarily people management, then I have the perfect cohort program for you. It's a 3-month advanced system design cohort. 20 people have already joined it. Everyone has a lot of experience. Some of them have even 25 years of experience. It's a great community for you to come and hang out. If you think you're a good fit, there's a link in the comments and in the description of this video. Fill it up. We'll check if you're a great fit and we'll set up some time with you. Now let's get back to the video. So let's take a deeper look at it. So if you want any information from the API server, you just call the APIs. But what if that information changes over time? I need to keep checking if there are any updates on that information. And the only way up until recently was to keep calling the APIs again and again to check if there's any update on the information. This is called as API polling, and this led to an exponential increase in network calls and can easily take down systems. In fact, distributed denial of service attacks or DDoS attacks are actually done by just overloading the servers with too many requests. And this is kind of what it looks like, right? So just a harmless anti-pattern. So this is an anti-pattern, right? And it's a harmless anti-pattern because you actually generally want to check the status of something from the server side. This can actually turn into a very serious cyber attack just due to lack of awareness by a developer. So developer doesn't know how best to handle this kind of a situation, and he'll just keep calling the server API again and again, and that can lead to a DDoS attack. So up until the time we had WebSockets and message queues, and we knew how to handle this type of a situation more accurately. And API polling was also being used in chat applications. So two people are chatting, the client keeps checking for the messages from the server side again and again. Are there any new messages for me? Are there any new messages for me? And so on. In stock trading platforms, you have stock tickers, which show you the latest price at which a stock is trading. And this information is changing very rapidly. So imagine the client making lots of API calls to get the recent price for each of the tickers. Similarly, for building pipelines, to check the status of the pipeline. A common pattern was to put a cron job and then keep calling the API from the client side again and again to check for new information. But now we have much better ways to handle different use cases using WebSockets, webhooks, but also queues and streams. But just imagine for chat messaging how ineffective and inefficient this used to be if you just keep calling the API again and again. And it will look harmless because usually you just hit the servers every few seconds. So it tries to mimic real-time systems. So it looks like everything is happening in real time, but behind the scenes, it's actually calling the API again and again. And this is why it fails miserably whenever there are small delays. And this is why we have newer, better technology to handle this, which we'll learn about in the next videos.